Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to, I guess, what is question time. Actually, this is the first question time that I've been sent. Silver tier members and gold tier members, you are able to send me in questions. If you would like me to answer any questions, I will answer your questions. Now, today's question came to me, and I was like, this is an interesting one. This is an interesting question, and I'm not too sure where I stand on it in its entirety, but I can try and work it through with you all. So the question is from our Diane. Diane, our Patreon member, she says to me, I'm curious as to what you thought of The Darkness. When they skyrocketed to fame back in about 2003, as well as now. My initial thought was that during your early performing years, you might not have liked The Darkness. On second thought, perhaps you liked that they were thumbing their noses at the perceived preachiness of some rock bands then. His style, being Justin Hawkins, seemed very much like Freddie Mercury's. Now, you're not wrong, because Justin, actually, he really loves Queen, and so much about them. So, what do I think of The Darkness? I tell you what I thought of The Darkness. I remember some friends of mine. They were like, "You got to check this song out," and they thought it was great, but they thought it was hilarious at the same time. And the song in question was "I Believe in a Thing Called Love," and we'd not really heard anything like it before, because, it had just the most ridiculous vocal lines. And it was that, "Just listen to the rhythm of my heart." And it was like, what's that? No one, and I don't think anyone knew actually what Justin was singing at the time either, which kind of made it a bit more fun. Because everyone sort of made up their own thing of what was going on. And because it was nothing like we'd really sort of heard, or I'd never heard sort of ever, it was difficult to sort of take him seriously, if I'm honest. And I think a lot of people felt that was the same. I think I saw an interview once where Justin sort of, I don't know, I think he really disliked the press a lot. That's what I got. I think I heard some stories about him and the guy who owned NME magazine. I think he made him like get down on his knees. He said, and he was like begging for him to do a feature, and he said, "If you get on your knees and ask me to do it, maybe." And he got down on his knees. I said, "Please, will you do a feature in my magazine?" And Justin still said no. I was like, my goodness. Justin's very sort of open about sort of how he sort of went off the rails, and everything was had some very sad years with alcohol, drugs, and all the rest of it, and just a wild life. And when I think it's a very difficult thing. I've never experienced that sort of fame at all. I've experienced like some sort of, I think mine is sort of more popularity than fame. I wouldn't say that I've really ever experienced being famous, but I do know what I've had the sort of the whispers of, "Oh, this is really nice. Come to the dark side." There's a feeling that it kind of gives you when that feeling is probably magnified and heightened by thousands, when you are playing to thousands and thousands of people, selling thousands of records, selling out, stadiums, all that kind of stuff. It must really affect you. But what did I think of them? Well, I did think they were a bit of a, initially I did think they were a bit of a, I hate to say joke. I thought they were having a laugh. I definitely thought they were having a laugh. Because when I saw them play live, was like, oh, these guys can't really play. And the songs were really well structured. And so when it comes to songs like I Believe in a Thing Called Love, check it out. Just listen to the falsetto that Justin gets. Listen to the notes he hits. The guy has such an amazing voice. My heart's in overdrive and you're behind the steering wheel. Touching you, touching me, touching you. I believe in a thing called love. Just with a chance you can make it now. When you're ready for the sun goes down, I believe in control. So then, after that, I remember hearing songs, like "Get Your Hands Off of My Woman." And I didn't hear this song initially as the record. It was actually a producer I was working with called John Mitchell, and he was singing it at us during the studio. He was going, "Get your hands off of my woman, mother." Ooh. I don't want to say the F word on this, but he's going, "Get your hands off of my woman, mother." Let's say father. Mother, father. He was just doing this. I was like, what is that? He goes, oh, it's a song by The Darkness. I was like, oh, right, okay. That's weird. But again, just another out there song. And it didn't quite make sense to me because I was like, these guys they are clearly having a laugh. But they seem to be taking themselves really, really seriously. And I was confused because I was like, are these guys poking fun? Are they, because they don't seem like they're poking fun. Not like how Steel Panther have done it in recent years, like, because Steel Panther came after that, but Steel Panther were clearly poking fun at what was going on back in the late 80s, early 90s. Whereas The Darkness seemed to really have like a lot of integrity in a lot of ways. And I was made even more confused when Love Is More Than a Feeling. Sorry, Love Is Only a Feeling. Love Is Only a Feeling came out. And it was just this really lovely, well-written song. They weren't sort of being, I mean, Justin has said, "Love is only a feeling." You know, and he still had all that stuff going on in there. But it seemed, it was more heartfelt and less fun. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I was like, this is a serious song. I just found them very deeply confusing. And I never saw them live. But I always I always, whenever their records came on, I'd always listen to them. Always listen to them. And then and suddenly, like, out comes this Christmas record. And I was like, this is crazy. Because it was like, okay, let me go back. So I'd heard that Justin was a very prolific songwriter, but I heard that I don't even know if this is true. I've taken this as canon, whereas I don't actually know if it is. I heard that Justin funded their initial records because he was a really good. He had like production deals, and he was able to write. He wrote jingles and all this kind of stuff, and that's how he managed to get enough money to fund the records that The Darkness initially did. I'm not sure if that's true. Please, anyone, fill me in the comments if there's any validity on that. I know that he wrote with Meatloaf. He was in Meatloaf's writing team. Like, Meatloaf had like just how on earth they could afford all these guys is just beyond me. But they had like so many writers. And Justin was one of Meatloaf's writers, was writing songs for Meatloaf. I think some of what he wrote got into some of the Meatloaf records, etc. But I mean, Justin has been so prolific over the years, and like even before The Darkness, it seems that he was sort of well known in the industry for one reason or another. And yeah, and then this Christmas song comes out, and I was like, they literally sat down. It seems like they literally sat down and gone, right, what do we have? We'll talk about sleigh bells, snow. We'll get kids singing in the choir. Loneliness at Christmas because you're not here. Bells ringing. Like they put all this stuff in. They're like, let's just cram it all in, and it's just so funny. Like, Christmas time.
Now we cling so well to that snowflakes up in hell, that it will end. Don't let the bells end. Christmas time, just let them ring in peace.
And with that, I know they sort of righted themselves in a way with me, because they were just having fun. They were having fun, but they'd gone a bit more on the tongue-in-cheek. Let's call it tongue-in-cheek. Let's not say joke band, because I don't think they're a joke band. They're a tongue-in-cheek band. They have a very Justin has a swagger about him on stage. He does all the fly kicks. He struts around, and he is just a frontman. He's a frontman, but he's an outlandish frontman. You know, he has that kind of Mick Jagger swagger, if you will. The sort of Bowie-esque flamboyance. And they write really, really cool, catchy tunes, and they can all play. And Justin can really, really sing. So, and then out comes Justin with Justin Hawkins Rides Again.
Good day to you, one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this.
And I've got to say, he's inspiring. He's a very inspiring guy, and I love to hear him talk. He's very articulate. He knows what he's talking about. He's a very skilled musician.
Justin Hawkins rides again.
And when he talks about music and the like, you want to listen. And he's got a lot of knowledge about the industry, and he's been in it a very long time. And he's not afraid to sort of say where his shortcomings are, or where his blind spots may be, and I like that. I like that, and he knows what his relevance is and has been in the, not that he has been, but he knows what his relevance was and what his relevance is now. And he I don't think he feels bad about that. It's just where he is. And they may rise and rise again, or they sort of may come down and keep doing what they're doing. But one thing I believe about the Darkness is that they will hold on to a very loyal core fan base, and they're fun to see live. So yeah, in closing, what do I think of the Darkness? At first, didn't really know what to think of them, but I think they write really amazing songs. I have a lot of respect for Justin Hawkins. I have a lot of respect for how hard they work, and I think that a lot of their songs will stand the test of time. I think it'll be their earlier songs, if I'm honest. But then that's what rocketed them to fame in the early days anyway. And I think they've, that was something they could really hang their hat on. Do you know, one more thing I just remembered was I saw it was a Kerrang magazine, and I'd always look at the reviews of the bands that had played live or whatever, and I saw a review of the Darkness, and they were playing the Barfly. Now, a lot of you won't know what the Barfly is in Camden, but I played there countless times. It's a small place. It's not there anymore. It's some other venue. It's awful now, but the Barfly. Not that the Barfly was ever really great. It was kind of grimy, but it was a popular venue to play. And I'd never really heard of the Darkness, but I think I may have just about heard I Believe in a Thing Called Love. And they said this will be the last time you see this band play in a venue of this size. Like, if you weren't there, forget about it. Like, they are on to bigger things. I was like, wow, that's cool. Because once, like, the press knew that they were catapulting now. Like, this is it. Bon voyage, everybody. We'll see you on the other side. And that is exactly what happened. And suddenly they were everywhere. And they were on the Jonathan Ross show, and just everywhere. And and kudos to Justin for cleaning himself up and all the rest of it, because I think, was it Steven Tyler said, of all the things I miss my mind the most. And what a mind Justin has got. And well done to him, and well done to the Darkness. I just think they're a brilliant band. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening. Diane, thank you very much for your question. I hope this, and I know I haven't gone into any of their later stuff, because I'm going to plead total ignorance on it. I remember the good old days. I barely know what's coming out these days anyway. But no, I don't know much of their latest stuff. I think I've maybe heard One Way Ticket to Hell and Back. That title always confused me. I was like, One Way Ticket to Hell and Back. So that's a round trip? It's like, so you're going, but you're not actually stopping. One way ticket to hell and back. So you're not actually getting off the train. Surely that's a return ticket, no? That was, I always had a problem with that. I was like, I always wanted to ask Justin, is it a return ticket? Because that's not a one way ticket to hell and back. Or you just stick it, the train just goes in a loop, doesn't stop. It must be. It must be. Anyway, guys, thank you so very much. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Patreon members, thank you so very much for being here. Gold tier, silver tier Patreon members, thank you so very much for all the videos you send me. Thank you very much for all the questions. Diane, thank you for today's question. Much love to you all. Take care of yourselves. Stay frosty. My name's Daniel Leigh. I will see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye bye.